All right. Hello, everybody. Mark Masters here. Always Booking Comedy. Another Monday. This one snuck up on me. I just realized about 40 seconds ago it was go time. We got Kay Banks with us from Las Vegas. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
What's it like in Las Vegas? Is it hot out there?
Actually, surprisingly, not yet. This week should be hitting the 90s, so we're not saying anything, but it's a very good
Okay.
year.
Oh boy. Boy, summer must be rough out there.
Yeah. I have no idea how we do this or why we do this every year, but it's just not snow. So
Yeah, no
yeah,
snow.
yeah,
I don't know. It must be fun to get out on the road and go to a colder place.
yeah.
When you live in Las Vegas. Okay, so let's see. We have a mutual friend, Garrett Hall, right?
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's done. Everybody, check out his episode. It was great. He's in the Aspen, Colorado area now, but formerly was from Las Vegas. And Kay Banks runs some great shows out in Vegas. What's the trick to running a great show, Kay Banks? What have you learned?
To be insane.
To
Yeah.
be insane. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I am slowly going insane. I have
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
comedy festival. So often.
No, just to have a lot of ADHD, if I'm being really honest with you, just because it is a lot of folders open all at the same time, and I do need to be highly organized. But at the same time, it is extremely fun because I used to be a wedding planner. So I just see them as different ceremonies and just making sure you're
Cool.
on top of everything. It's easy to structure if you know what to look for. It's very hard to learn how to jump into it.
And wedding planner, that's fun. Did you get to go to the weddings or did you just plan them?
Yes and no. So depending on certain chapels, I would see them through all the way through the experience. So one chapel, I was a celebrant. So I handled the groups that were 10 people or less. So as the officiant, the coordinator, the planner, the photographer, all the above.
Were
You
you
know what I
also
mean?
dressed as Elvis?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I just swirl around them and just be your dedicated person, right?
Huh.
But then at another chapel, and when I eventually was at the Venetian and everything, I was a proper wedding planner who would delegate everything, but I would show up and make sure that people were doing their jobs. So
Wow.
yeah, it was fun.
Did seeing wedding speeches inspire you to try comedy? Like people being unfunny or
Actually, no, it was my job in direct sales. I realized I had memorized, I think it was about 4 hours of different scripts. I think I had about 40 different scripts I needed to learn verbatim. And
Mhm.
it pissed me off because I was like, you mean to tell me that I can learn someone else's words, but I can't learn my own? So it was it was through all my jobs, plus always kind of dabbling with it and always kind of being around, that I was just like, man, I just gotta get over this and just do it.
Awesome. How much is a average wedding if you get married at the Venetian?
Ooh, at the Venetian.
Yeah.
If you want the bells, the whistles, so everything, anywhere between 8 and 10K is gonna get you pretty far.
Oh,
So
okay. That
yeah,
doesn't seem that bad,
no,
honestly.
it's not that crazy. But if you have
Okay.
a smaller group of 40 and stuff, I would say an average of my ceremonies were anywhere between 4 and 6K.
What,
It's really not as insane for something really
what's
nice.
something people don't know about booking a Vegas wedding?
How fun they are and
Yeah.
how easy it is. Yeah, because honestly, a lot of these chapels are in-house. So they just come with everything packaged. So then they're just kind of freak out because it's so easy. And they're like, well, we need to do this. And I'm like, no, dude, it's done. Sit back, relax, just
Nice.
shush.
Do they have their own photographers?
Yeah, and then so that was kind of fun too, because with all my productions, I used all my photographers, all my videographers to help get me going and everything. So it's
That's
been
awesome.
fun.
How else does the wedding planning overlap with comedy?
Honestly, in more ways than you think too, just because I've always been a liaison, right? To okay, you're my client, here's the end result. How are you going to get to point A to point B? Right. And do expectations match? So it's working on with people one-on-one to get to a larger result, right? But then also the larger result also just changes per person. So it could look different, but then also when people show up to It's just a lot of emotional intelligence. so so you definitely need that. I don't know. I just feel like I know how to run around, get my work done, go to the gym, and also have a balance for my life as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you're a real pro. I've worked
thank
with
you.
you.
I
You,
appreciate
you know what
that.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Hey, we got somebody tuned in online from North Carolina. Mark, hi, Mark.
Hi,
Uh,
North Carolina. Hey.
yeah, thanks for joining. Excited to hear about the Vegas scene. So why don't we talk about the Vegas? Have you been to other scenes, or are you still like is Vegas your one and only right now?
Vegas is my predominant that I know the most, right? I
Okay.
have done some more work out in like Pahrump, like right outside the city limits, and then also Salt Lake City. I've been going up there like pretty recently too, so that's been exciting. I'm originally from San Francisco area, and I
Oh,
started comedy about like 10 years ago. I like went up like super brave, and like of course, at Brainwash, it's no longer, but 74 comedians. I'm the last one up, totally hammered. They're just like, you're funny, but just clean it up. And I'm like, how do you be a stand up comedian? And just freaked out. And I think I only went like 2 or 3 times before I was like,
yeah.
and then life took its turns, and here I am back in Vegas. So,
That's awesome. San Francisco has a wonderful scene. I go out there a couple times a year. There's really strong comics, and for the festival this weekend, we have, like 25 comics. I think 4 or 5 of them are from San Francisco. So it's
cool.
like right
Cool.
up there with New York City and other scenes. So let's talk about Vegas more.
Yeah.
This is the question. If I would like run into a comic in an airport, somehow accidentally find out they're a comedian, one of the first questions I always ask people is, can you go to an open mic every night of the week?
Almost, yeah. I think the only 2 nights that are kind of like finicky, I think are Fridays and Saturdays. I know we have one Friday night for sure. Saturday night, I don't entirely remember, but yeah, we have like
That's
even
pretty typical in most cities. The Friday and
yeah,
Saturday ones come and go.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And then like the cool thing about Vegas is that we were built. This whole city was built for the service industry, right? And so because like it's all the casino workers and everything. So once all the tourists are gone, our days off are Monday through Wednesday. And so our Monday through Wednesday bar shows are popping. They're fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So you went to my Laffy Taffy production on Tuesdays, and
That was a
there's
great show.
yeah, that was a
I have
fun
a
one.
monthly email newsletter, and I did like, I want to say 17 shows. I can't remember. 17 shows and like 30 nights, maybe 20 shows. I don't know. I did a lot in like 9 different states. And I singled yours out as the most fun of like all over the place. It was just like it
Well,
was
thank you.
really it was really good. And I did like, big comedy clubs and all kinds of different rooms, like speakeasy, secret shows, and like different weird thing. In your show, it was just like it had great energy. It was really the
Thank you.
audience was great. It was super hot and it was very easy. Like I got in, I talked to you, I got up on stage, and then I had to be somewhere else. And I had just done a spot at a casino right
Yeah.
before, and so yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. So can you do multiple spots in the same night at
Mhm.
Mike's?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or wait, multiple
So
night mics in the same night.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So like Mondays and Tuesdays, I think we have at least 2 or 3 mics. And then Wednesdays, I think we have like I think it's the lowest amount is like 1 or 2 per night, and then the most is like 3 or 4. So it's
huh.
kind of exciting.
And
So
did you start before Wise Guys opened?
no, I'm only like 2 years and some change in the
Okay, all
comedy.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, Wise Guys in Vegas, right? We're talking about the
Mhm.
same thing,
Yeah,
Vegas.
no, they
Uh,
they opened up. Man, when was that? Like 2019, 2018.
oh
I
wow.
remember going there a lot, and I remember it was very exciting because the brewery that I would like go to was right across the street. So it was
Uh-huh.
very easy just to like go get a burger, go get beer, and then just run across the street and see some people I saw off TikTok. So
Nice.
I've been going there a lot. I think it's a really fun club.
Huh. And they have a great mic, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe arguably the best mic in Vegas, would you say? Or who has the best mic?
Yeah, it's always kind of like it just depends on what you're looking for, you know, because like for me, the bar shows have taught me some of the like biggest lessons of just how to deal with like drunk hecklers, someone who's overserved, because especially in Vegas at like 9-10 p.m. on the strip, you're going to deal with that a lot more than you will anywhere else. You know what I mean? And then I don't, so Wise Guys, they're the only comedy club with an open mic for us to practice on the larger stage. So we just hold them to such a different, like, TLC and Tender Love and Care for that, you know? So the rest of the stages are very much like, you know, they're a fine oiled machine. They are operating inside of a casino. They got to keep plugging away. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a pathway to get into the casinos? Because like one of the things I've heard about Vegas is like the difficult thing is that you can't, like, the casinos just don't book locals. They only book national, like huge people who've been on Saturday Night Live or whatever. But can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it is interesting just because like Vegas is very much they need to see your work, you know, so like they don't really care about how much you can sell yourself. And if you really think about it, we're so oversaturated by billboards, by sales, by every other event happening at every other time and everything. There's so much non-comedy competition to a point where like you need to be on it, right? You need to be inside their face at all times. So like even for me now to like break into other clubs and like really kind of feel like I'm being seen and everything, it's because I'm in every room and every night. So like, I'm the cockroach where I'm just like, I'm gonna be here regardless as anyone's gone, you know. But yeah, they do book national headliners, which is amazing because like, you know, I got to see Craig Robinson run through the casino, like physically run through the casino and do a quick set and then, you know, back off. And so people in the casino are literally just running after him just to go see where he's going, you know?
Cool.
So it's just a convenience factor of just being in Vegas, which is really cool. And then they use locals to open up and feature for him, you know? So yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
is a
All
different,
right.
yeah, it is a different game out here, but also just we're in backwards land from a 9 to 5, you know?
Got it. Well,
Yeah.
it's really interesting what you said about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday being hotter in Vegas than other places, just
Mhm.
because, there's so many service industry people. That's their weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then also too on the strip, like those are the people who deliberately came because it's a cheaper flight to like fly out. But then also like, what's there to do on a Monday night? There's no concerts or anything. So like the weekends are always going to be hot because it's tourists. They're always going to have something to do. There's always going to be a WrestleMania type shit. You know what I mean? But then Monday and Tuesday nights are sometimes like super hot over at LA Comedy Club where they're like opening up the back curtain and stuff because we have so many people. Because again, it's Monday night in Vegas. What are we doing?
Yeah. So
So,
let's talk about LA Comedy Club is one of the more accessible clubs. Are
mhm.
you on their roster or part of that
Wasting my
system?
way in, yeah.
Okay. And how do you do that?
Wasting my way.
What's
Yeah.
the path?
I've had a couple guest spots there so far, and then again, you just have to show that consistency, show that you're showing up to other clubs, and so I'm definitely on Wise Guys roster, which is really fun because that's just my bread and butter. I just love that club. They're just such a dingy. I just love it. It's just a tiny
I've only
spot.
been to the one in Salt Lake City. I haven't been to
Oh,
Vegas.
okay. And yeah, that's a really fun thing is you know, they literally built it themselves. So like you could see the TLC in the walls, which is really cool. And then LA Comedy Club, that's just like, you know, the professionalism. It's a really nice, it feels really nice in there. And then you know, like larger stuff too. Like we have the Comedy Cellar at the Rio too, where that's just give me a couple years. I know that one's a long road, but at least we're having the baby steps in between because for the longest time in Vegas, it used to just be like, okay, you have Brad Garrett's and then you have a bar show, you know?
Yeah.
So now that we're filling in the gaps on the in between, and Vegas is in a really good spot right now where everyone has like a really hot, like 10 to 15 minutes. So we're trying to create more showcases at like bars and everything that are paid ticketed. And so we can kind of fill in a little bit more and show a little bit more of us. So,
That's awesome.
mhm.
What other, let's try and name the other places that have comedy or known for comedy.
Yeah, we got Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club.
Mhm.
We got Brad Garrett's. We got the Comedy Cellar. We got 2 locations of Wise Guys. We got about, like, I would say at least 20 different bars that do shows. We have mics. It's popping. We're trying
Yeah,
to keep it
you
cool.
got
We got more.
theaters like the various I don't know, like Seinfeld performs at I
Mhm,
forget where, but or he's at Caesars. Caesars, he'll perform, he'll
mhm.
pop in over there.
Yeah, also like the Venetian, Caesars, like they just have large theaters where you can just kind of see like a celebrity one-off here and there. So
Right.
yeah, I think we just had like Nikki Glazer and David Spade over at the Venetian like a year or so ago. That was cool.
Nice.
You know what I
Nice.
mean? We have like
And then there's at the
Shane, Amy
Luxor, there's
Poehler.
Carrot.
Yeah, over at Resorts World. Like it's so crazy here.
Have you ever run into Carrot Top?
You know what? No. Yeah. He's
I
always
saw
been
his
so
show. I gotta say, everybody, quit hating on Carrot Top.
he
That
runs a
show,
great
I
show.
see a lot of comedy. I'm at comedy almost 200 nights a year, and it was the best show I saw that year. It was incredible. The jokes per minute are off the chart. He's so funny. He's
Yeah.
really, really good.
I mean,
Have you been to see that show?
you know what? That's one of the few ones I have not
You
seen.
gotta see it.
Yeah, I know, and I
It's
just gotta
so
go.
good.
But
It's
I
so good.
follow him on Instagram, and he's insane, but also he's the nicest person ever. But like, he's always as naked as he can be. I love it.
So funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk more about. So you were talking a little bit about how there's an oversaturation with marketing of stuff. How do you draw people to your shows? Like the show I did that you had was packed. There were tons of people there. Is that an accident? Is that luck? Like, how does that happen?
It's grinding it out. It's literally just being out in the community because Vegas, our number one secret is that it's very much a small town in the thing you see on movies, right? So those are the people who build that. Those are the people who literally work those bars, you know what I mean? So the just being out and about and just giving that TLC and like literally just having that conversation, that's what you need, right? Because you know that someone else had vet that. Unfortunately, Vegas had always had like a rough reputation because this is where a lot of people go because they've been ostracized from their own community, right? And
Are you talking about Vegas or comedy?
Vegas in general. So like, you know what I mean? Like we've always been home to like the outlaws and, you know, this and that. But like if even in comedy too, there have been some people who come from different scenes who were dangerous
Maybe they didn't leave on
people.
their own.
Yeah, who were dangerous
Or
people. And Vegas just at the time just didn't have anyone notable, right? Because we don't have a lot of locals feeding into this. And so, you know, unfortunately, you're going to see a lot of rapists on stage. So for me is just having a fucking backbone. And it's just that easy. And it's just knowing that it's women produced because I'm a firm believer that there is a new narrative of healing. There's a new narrative of like women empowerment, but it doesn't need to be man hating and it doesn't need to be aggressive. It's just literally making sure that we're safe in the green room. And that's the most mind boggling concept I could tell you. Yeah. So it's just literally teaching these guys how to have a backbone.
okay. All right. Yeah. So booking, you have guardrails around your booking is what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I watch for premises. I watch for who's cool. Like who's cool in a green room, who's actually like supporting the show, who's actually like doing all the work. Everyone's funny, right? Even if you're not a comedian, you can still be funny, right? That's only the tip of the iceberg of what we truly do as work. And so I'm looking for a well-rounded body of people, but then also I like to play with a vibe. So like I'll put up all my like sillies that are just so off the wall, and then I'll put up all my like really brash, like heavy hitters who have like really controversial, heavier premises that I know that they can play with delicately, you know? But it is fun to like find a vibe and just kind of shift and move with that. So
yeah.
Do
you guys have comedy festivals out in Vegas? I know Skank Fest was there for a couple years.
Yeah. We have
New
Skank
Orleans,
Fest. And we also have Laugh After Dark. They are just like our
What's
homegrown.
Laugh After Dark? I'm not familiar with
Oh
that.
my God, they are the two nicest people you're ever going to meet. No, so it's by Kelsey and Robert Lee, and they are just incredible people. They just help out the comedians as much as they can. They help with websites, with Comedy Finder. They do this huge festival for us once a year, and that's usually the week right before Skankfest. So it's when festival season comes around, like we are hopping and busy.
Yeah,
They're
cool.
usually the first week of October, if I remember right, first or
Okay.
second. Yeah.
So the other cool thing about doing comedy in Vegas must be that a lot of people travel to Vegas.
Yeah.
So how has that benefited you?
It's really fun because like a lot of travelers come to us, but then also too, you never know who's in the crowd because I would say 70% of every crowd is tourists, right? So you go to LA Comedy Club, and I'm a firm believer that's like why Vegas has a habit of knowing how to quick pivot. We know how to shift per, oh, they're old people. Okay, got you. Okay. I can't do a cruise ship. Oh, they're young tonight. Oh, they're this, they're that. You can figure out
They don't
like
speak English.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, oh, they're rowdy tonight for sure.
Yeah.
Let's go. So like you really have to like stand in your confidence, know what you're doing, and execute. So like Vegas, it's rough to learn, but when you're out here, it will teach you all the good habits you need. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, what else do you want to talk about? What's
Mm,
exciting to you in comedy?
everything's exciting right now.
That's the best. I
Yeah.
love to hear it.
Yeah, I'm walking away from one of my productions and I'm starting up two more. So that's very
All right, let's
exciting.
talk about that. Change is always interesting. Why walk away?
Why walk away? Because I realized that I was someone else's mule. And yeah, and
Okay.
then lots of big feelings. Unfortunately, he was just projecting his divorce onto me. So, like, that was also a weird thing of just the dichotomy of just like, you're not seeing me as a coworker, you're not trusting me as a territory manager, you're not seeing my work, you're not even saying thank you, there's no type of appreciation, that nothing I could do was ever good enough, and yet all the managers of all the clubs are like stoked.
Yeah.
So why would I give up if I'm doing literally everything? Why is it for
Right.
somebody else? Like I
So
literally,
what are you getting in your new productions? Are you getting more control?
yeah, this one is all me, so I'm really excited
Did
about
you
that.
find this venue on your own? Or did they come to you? Or
It's through my connections through Wise Guys. So I'm starting to like talk to them, start to like figure out my little pieces and
is
everything.
it a show produced at Wise Guys?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
gonna be
cool. That's exciting. Do they
uh-huh.
do a
So
lot of that, or is that new to them?
what's up?
Do they do a lot of independently produced shows, or is that something
Mhm.
new? Yeah.
Yeah, so the we have two locations, right? So the large showroom at Town Square, that's the one over by the airport, right? They
Okay.
do a lot of the celebrity comedians. They don't do local shows. It's very much a showroom where it seats like I think it's like 250, it's like 200 something people. It's a lot. So it's a lot bigger. No, 320? I forget. It's a lot larger, which is exciting, right? And then we also have a location downtown in the Arts District. Then that one seats 200. And that one is all local shows with smaller headliners with like a lot
Cool.
of, yeah. So that one's
I mean,
very much,
200 is pretty big.
yeah.
Do
Yeah.
any of the local shows fill that up?
I mean, I sold it out 4 times, but
Get out of here. Holy
yeah,
cow.
we
You
run
should
out
have
of
done
chairs
shows in
at,
Colorado for me.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
we run out of chairs at 160 and we've had 200 or at least 160 or more 4 times for that
That's
last.
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have like a great email list? Good, like, is it a good time of week? Is it the comedians you're booking, or is it just everything?
When I say that it's just women produced and there's no rapist, it's just that easy.
Okay. All right.
Like it was my Girls and Gays show that sold out first one, right? It was
Uh-huh.
a good week on top of a lot of people excited and just that's the best part is when you have a very fun lineup where everyone wants to work together and everyone knows it's a big deal and everyone knows that you're just kind of like trying to break the mold of everything and
Mhm.
you're representing people who you don't even get to see anymore, right? Like unfortunately, and I'm not saying this to like directly attack you, right? But like white guys don't have problems anymore, right? No more. You solve that with the presidency. Look at everything that's around us. It's all white guys who are just to fault, right? So without any more struggle, the people who have the most struggles are the girls and the gays, and those are the strongest comedians that we have in Vegas. And I will die on that hill.
Okay.
So yeah, it was
Sounds
one
like
of
a
my
fun.
honest
It's a show
finals.
I would watch.
Oh, we had a time. We had a
So,
time.
how does that? Do you do like a monthly or a quarterly or a weekly, or how does that shake out?
Yeah, so that production was bi-weekly, which was really nice just because it gave them just enough of excitement to like tumble into the next one. This next production I want to do, I'm debating on either bi-weekly or monthly. I was still trying to play. I haven't even talked about schedule yet, if I'm being honest with you. And then another one of my productions, it's at this horror themed pizza shop. Yeah, and especially with Vegas is dying or Vegas is dead trending on like TikTok and all that right now. We decided to name it Vegas is Dead, the comedy show that kills, and it's going to be on every 13th of every month. So the first show is going to be on Friday the 13th, and we're already on the horror.
That's in June. I was just setting up a show on Friday, June 13th.
Yeah, cool. And I was like, if we're going to do it, I mean, it's too perfect. So
that's amazing. That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Do you film your shows?
Some I do, and then like even for my open mic too, we do a professional camera where everyone is recorded, and if you want to buy your own set, it's just $10. So then that way, if you have like a killer set, you're like, I wasn't even planning for that. Someone else took care of it. And then it just makes it really easy that like, it's already clipped, it's already whatever. So you can just post that up, send it to some like festivals and all that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you, let's see, we got to wrap this up. If you could go back and talk to yourself before you ran your first show, like what's a piece of advice or a couple pieces of advice you would give yourself?
I think it would be just to relax. Just relax and have a little more fun. You know what I mean? I'm understanding it takes me a while with change just because I'm so neurodivergent, right? So sometimes a lot of change all at once really stresses me out because I don't have my routine in that yet. But once I find my footing in the routine, I'm easy breezy. Everything's cool. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that day is going to be a little bit heavier than the next day, but just get it all done and you'll feel better, you know? But yeah, I mean, but also wedding planning is like one of the top 5 most stressful jobs ever. So if I attribute that to that, then I know I got to just relax in general.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes you so good is that you're high strung. So
yes,
we got another question online. I missed that. So let's sneak it in before the end here. Since it's around 70% tourists, so the audience is already primed to laugh, or do you have to earn it just as much as anywhere else?
It's every hour, everything's different. You know what I mean? Where it's just like the 6 p.m. show could be super hot and then they leave. And then the 8 p.m. show comes and you're just like, oh, they're 90. Cool. Like, you know, and then the 10 p.m. show, they're all hammered and you're just like, okay, like it's just when I say that I get to travel every single night without traveling, but then also at the same time, like I'm building up small people in every different state. So then when I go, oh, I already have 3 people who saw me from Texas, right?
Nice. Yeah. Who's making a name for themselves out of the Vegas scene?
Oh God, everyone.
Like it has left, I guess. Like gotten a little bigger, like not.
Gotten a little bigger. DJ Santu, like, so he's a really close friend of me. He lives in Sacramento now. He moved back for family. But he's been around the scene for a while. And yeah, just to see him just kind of like traveling around, blowing up. Like, I know he likes to say he's famous adjacent, you know what I mean? But like, I just respect his hustle. He's in every city, he's everywhere.
And that's a good transition as we close down. Sacramento, hot place.
Yeah,
Denver about to move there, and coming into Colorado this weekend, From Sacramento, Mikey Winfield from America's Got Talent at the Vail Comedy Festival. I have to say it. It's this weekend. It's every Memorial Day weekend. VailComedyFestival.com, everybody. Get your passes. Please, for the love of Pete, for the love of whatever saint show producers pray to, buy passes. We got 30 comics flying in. Magic. We got a film screening this year. It's going to be crazy. K Banks, what a fun conversation. That was really cool.
Thank you, Mark. It's always good to see you.
You want to promote anything or say anything as we shut this down?
Just follow me on Instagram, K Banks. I got a lot of exciting shit, and I'm going to be traveling, so please help me pay rent.
You're on the road, everybody. K Banks, if you go take a vacation to Las Vegas and you're there like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, look her up, K Banks on Instagram, and we'll see you next Monday, everybody. We're going to shut this down.